What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark, MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic. And we're going to talk about The Studio. It's a new show on Apple Plus. First two episodes are out. Critics are loving it. And of course they are, because it's excellent. It is written and directed, created by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. And they've worked together before. And Seth also stars in this alongside such wonderful talent like Catherine O'Hara, Ike Barinholtz, Catherine Hahn. So we've got like a pretty stellar lead cast. And then, my God, the cameos. Oh, my Jesus. And the cameos they have planned, when you look at the list of people and you're like, oh, well, those people haven't shown up yet. Well, the first episode we had like Paul Dano, we had Martin Scorsese, Steve Buscemi, Charlize Theron, just all playing themselves, just breezing through. Second episode, you've got Greta Lee, Sarah Polley. So yeah, they're gonna keep pulling in talent. Seth is able to really get big names in here. Actually, read that he found the second episode to be very like anxiety inducing for him. Like it was a really hard shoot for him to get that second episode out. And I mean, I can kind of see why, because it's very frenetic. It's this the show is based around this movie studio, and the corporate owners of the movie studio have decided to go in a different direction, so they fire the old movie, the studio head, played by Catherine O'Hara, and they end up hiring Seth Rogen to do the gig instead, and he's one of the eligible people who could take over the job and ends up doing it, and he's stoked because he loves movies and he loves visiting sets and offering his opinions. And of course, this show has a very obvious opinion about studio heads providing influence into movies and their thoughts, and like how filmmakers actually see that, and they're like, oh God, oh, your thoughts. And I'm like, I've been probably thinking about critics too. I'm like, oh God, the critic thinks that. Of course they do. They have no idea. They're not artists. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, we all went to film school. Anyway, I chose not to go the production route. I did not want to. I would love to act, but that'd be it. Anyway, so Seth, yeah, it's a very Seth Rogen role, except for the fact that he's just not blazed high the whole movie. That's like the whole show. I'm just gonna keep calling it a movie because it feels like a movie to me. It's one of the notable things is a more grown up, mature performance from him, because it's not a stoner comedy for him. Although he did find a way to work a joint into the second episode covertly. Yeah, it's I love both episodes. I thought they were both great. Great way to introduce the show, introduce the cast. Catherine O'Hara is lovely in this. She ends up they find a way for her character to stick around so she can both be fired, and then Seth finds a way for her to still work sort of like under him instead, so that way she continues to have a presence, because you don't want to get rid of Catherine O'Hara, and yeah, I don't know, Ike Barinholtz is funny as Seth's friend, and Catherine Hahn comes in and out in a very Catherine Hahn role, working at the studio. So everybody is just perfectly where they are, and they're surrounded by people coming in and out playing themselves, playing these versions of themselves, so they get to talk about, you know, I mean, Martin Scorsese was hilarious, and the first episode centers around the studio head basically gives Seth Rogen the job because he agrees to make they the guy who owns the studio um, has acquired the rights to Kool-Aid and is really excited about that. The whole first episode is this, thing about like stupid franchises, and he's already lamenting the fact that he has to have a meeting with somebody about making a Jenga movie. and which he has no intention of making. And then he gets pulled into this meeting where he's like, Kool-Aid. And so Seth has to agree to make a Kool-Aid movie so that he can get the job. So he has to figure out how to put a Kool-Aid movie into production. And that's what the whole first episode is about. The second episode is about how those like one shots, like getting everything in that one like long take. It's one of those shots. And he keeps listing all of these epic shots from all these other movies, and he's like, oh man, I would have loved to have been there on set when they shot those iconic moments. It seems like Goodfellas. So he really wanted to be present for this one, but he draws so much attention to himself, and he won't shut up. So he ends up like ruining everything and not realizing he's ruining everything. And then by the time he realizes he's ruining everything, it's like comically, we're past the point of no return at that point. But Sarah's putting up with it as Polly's playing herself as a director. She's putting up with it because she needs him to okay clearance for a song that's kind of expensive. So it's very interesting, and I'm excited to see where they go in future episodes. It's a movie that is I keep calling it a movie because God, it feels like it. It's a show that feels like it's written by people who really understand what it is they're writing about, like on a deep level, and they understand what makes it funny, and everybody else seems to have jumped on board and agrees that they're going to come on the journey with them. So I'm excited to see the cameos. This is not being billed as limited, which means we could get future seasons. So other people could appear in it, like in later seasons. There's so many things that they could satirize as in future seasons as we move forward. This could end up sort of becoming more like a comedic version of the morning show, where it's very industry based, very behind the scenes, but very well written with an excellent cast. And I would be surprised if this didn't get Emmy love. This feels like it's destined for Emmy attention, especially because, man, it has guest star potential for best actor or actress in a comedy series in the guest category. Because you can get that Martin Scorsese nomination in there. I love the studio. The audio description is fantastic. I believe it's Laura Post. I think I stayed long enough to figure that one out after the first episode. I do watch a lot of TV. I do. Pretty certain it's Laura Post. She does an excellent job, and the description is very well made. So I'm generally happy with the stuff that Apple does for the most part. So that's it. I'm gonna give the studio an A, both episodes. I fully accept the studio. Anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the other side.